Hello to all of our gold participants from around the world. I'm Fiona Lang Sharp, IBCLC Public Relations Manager and MC for Gold Learning. Welcome, everyone. This will be our Gold Learning alumni presentations for 2017. And I am here with Dr. Jane Morton, and she's going to be one of our presenters. She's going to be presenting on first touch, first food, first hour in a mother's hands. Well, welcome back, Jane, to Gold. It's lovely to have you here.
A pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me again. I really enjoy uh, um, being connected with so many devotees of breastfeeding around the world.
Yeah, it certainly is. We're all kind of giddy here sometimes at Gold, and with the alumni, this takes us to a whole new level, and that's why we love the Alumni Day. We can just get a little bit deeper into some things. So before we get started here, I just want to, again to ask you if you wouldn't mind just introducing yourself once again to our listening audience today. Tell them a little bit about your practice that you do on a daily basis, and I just want to know, can you tell me a little bit about the changes that you've seen in your mothers over the years?
Sure. Well, I'll try to keep it brief because I've been doing this for over 40 years. So I'm a general pediatrician and have had all sorts of chapters of my professional life. But from early on, I became interested in breastfeeding because I began my practice at a time when very few mothers were breastfeeding. About 20% of American mothers were breastfeeding.
Hmm.
And at the same time, they were beginning to go back to work. And in the community I live in, they were well educated, very determined, and so they wanted me to help them out. And it was at a time where there were no lactation consultants, and there was very little good science, and there was no pumps and no support systems. And so I realized I had, in fact, less to offer them than I wanted to. And that sort of spurred me on to feel more responsible to help them out. And as most of you all know, once you get on the breastfeeding boat, it's hard to get off. And one thing led to another, and it's taken me into an amazing journey where I've had the privilege of doing of research and making educational tools, but by far and away the most rewarding has been standing by the bedside of a brand new mother, and particularly right at the delivery, and helping her get started with this so she comes out the other side feeling as though her body works, her life works, and she is completely in love with breastfeeding. So that's sort of what turns me on. And in this presentation, what I'd like to do is sort of give you all the information that I wish I had known at the very beginning of this journey. And because I could have been so much more helpful to mothers had we just been aware of some of these fairly basic and rather simple truths that are now scientifically supported. So, what I have been working on a lot over the last couple years is it's a little 11-minute video designed, it's sort of mother centric, designed to help mothers and their partners right in the very first hour or so of birth, so that maybe if she sees it in the delivery room, she'll be prepared to handle any scenario that comes up for her since we don't have much control over this whole scene, our delivery, to
Yeah.
know precisely how it's going to turn out. So this is something I want to share with you, but the presentation really focuses on the science behind the video, and then we'll get to the video.
Awesome. I'm just so excited. I mean, I need to go back into your conversation because I'm sitting here and I'm taking notes, Jane. Your enthusiasm and your drive in those early years, um, and talking about, research, but then taking it full circle to being at a bedside is just so beautiful. And it really, that's what it boils down to, I think, for a lot of us, like you said, who get on the breastfeeding boat. Once we're on it, a lot of us are like that. And getting back to those basics, getting back to seeing those mothers in that immediate postpartum to protect that breastfeeding relationship is just so wonderful. And
Hmm.
just to let the people know, the delegates that are listening in right now, I've had a sneak peek already of what Jane's going to be presenting on, and I'm very excited. I have to tell you, Jane, what you're presenting on, and that video is just wonderful. So, lastly,
Great.
before I let you go, some of the things that if for the delegates listening in right now, what are you most excited that they're going to be taking away, from fresh eyes in this situation or from this presentation?
Well, what I would really like them to take away is, you know, we work so hard to help mothers, and if we wait until problems come up, so many times the problems are less remedial, they're more time consuming, they're literally back breaking for us. And mothers leave the hospital feeling like instead of there's this being a celebration, maybe there's a problem that maybe their bodies aren't working quite as well, and there's a lot of anxiety. And when someone says congratulations, they're sort of feeling like yes, but. And what I really want to have convey today is that I think there's a way that we could work smarter rather than harder and prevent problems before they come up, but importantly, to not do it with a whole lot more work, to make it simpler for us and to make it more successful for mothers. So that's what I'm hoping to to convey today. And this is a video that will be available to anyone who wants it, with, of course, no charge. So there we are.
Well, that sounds absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for that brief intro. And I know that the delegates listening in will be absolutely excited to come and join you on January 17th for our Gold Learning Alumni presentations. Very exciting. Again, the topic title, First Touch, First Food, First Hour in a Mother's Hands, as presented by Dr. Jane Morton. Well, thank you again, Jane, for sitting down with me today. It's been a delight listening to all the things that you've been doing and looking forward to hearing that full presentation.
Thank you.
And thank you to our listening audience. Bye bye for now, everyone.